everyone. This is Tom Wiers, and I had the privilege today to sit down with Jim Allen, the CEO of Karmak, and we're going to talk a little shop, a little software, a little history, a little bit about the future as well. So, Jim, first off, thanks for coming to Carmel, Indiana. We had our mid-year manager meeting, and Jim and his team were gracious enough to come in and share some things about Karmak and cybersecurity and updates and such that are coming down the road. We really appreciate you coming in. I know you had another opportunity in St. Louis that you blew off for us driving over here, so that really means a lot, and thank you very much. So.
Right on, you're welcome, and the pleasure is mine. I absolutely love this, and our relationships with our partners is you are a partner. I don't like to use the word customer a lot because you're a partner, and I take every opportunity I can to come hang out, meet your place, know what you do, and ingrain myself in what you do so I can offer better solutions.
Yeah, that's great. As I was talking to Jim earlier today, I mentioned that we became a customer back on November 1st, 2002. So that's 21 and a half years ago. And it's my full expectation that we'll continue to be a customer for a long time as well.
Good.
So it has been truly a long-term relationship, and it's just great to sit down with you. In fact, you mentioned in the discussion today with my team, which I thought was great, you had a slide on your focus is on the ship.
Yep.
Would you kind of share a little bit with the folks watching this video about what that entails?
Yeah, and for me, I'm really big on leadership and how you treat people, how you create culture and that kind of thing, but also how it expands out into your client base and creating relationships with them that absolutely last, and that creates influence too in what we do, because we need to respond to the market. And for me, the focus on the ships means, relationships, leadership, any word that ends with ship. And as you evolve through these relationships, they turn into friendships.
Right.
And then when I'm friends with Tom Wiers and he calls me, you've got my ear in a different way than another client who I also, want to be there for.
Yeah.
But it's just to be honest, you get some influence when you have these amazing relationships with people. And I love building them. It comes from a genuine place to learn. What you do fascinates me. I love what you do more than what I do.
Yep.
And I love what I do, but it's to learn your business and what you do and how your customers come through you and do that. Like, I'm always fascinated by that and learning more, and every conversation I have makes me better at my job. So those ships are important to me, and that's what I focus on. And, back at the office, of course, leadership is very important, and it all starts at the top, as you're probably aware.
Of course.
But those other things and throughout the industry, it's my favorite thing that I do.
Yeah, I thought that Jim had a real nice slide on that so if you don't mind, I'd like to steal that and use that around some of the material. But no, I think the partnerships, relationships, friendships, all are important business attributes, and you did a nice job of framing that. So tell us about a little bit about, since we've been a long-term customer with Karmak, and kind of where the business is at today, and what you see as opportunities for Karmak partnering with companies like Wiers, and what you see going on in the market.
Gotcha. Yeah, we're in the last couple of years, we spent a lot of time really riding the ship. See what I did?
Right, boom.
And so it's really making sure that our product offerings are the best they can be for you. And then we always want to add features and functionality, but we want to be cutting edge technology. So some of the stuff we talk about, machine learning, AI, why does that matter in our business? Because we have this tons of data, right? And so the system that you're using, the business system, is really a data repository. It accepts data, you put tons of it in. That's just the beginning. It's how you extrapolate that data and what you do with it. Right. So AI has the potential to look at that in a wildly different way and much more quickly.
Sure.
And, I'm always concerned about the nefarious use of AI technologies because they can do bad things with it, but it is a remarkable technology. We are already working with Microsoft on some projects and figuring out what we can do internally and how we can impact that with maybe it's reporting or whatever.
Sure.
And so that's really exciting. So we have people, looking into that and partnerships, and once again, doing that, but it all comes from what the industry wants. So one of the biggest proud moments I have right now is delivering a mobile service app. Customer has been asking for that
Yeah.
throughout the industry for a long time.
Right.
Guess who popped it out first? Karmak. Boom.
Boom.
And I would love to take credit for it, but as you know, I don't do any actual work.
Right.
So the team literally wanted to do this so bad in one of the busiest times that we had going on. They met at the bar in the afternoon or after work and wrote this out on paper and started believing in it, and it started evolving because we wanted to do it, and it's way ahead of everybody else. So we knocked it out, and it just started with the 1st of March. It's available, so we're excited.
One of the things I think from our company, interacting with your company, we've always been a pretty heavy user. We've sent people to use your conference, and it's always been a very stable platform for us. We've always been, gotten great support and such. But there has been, looking at the market and opportunities for additional technology, mobile app, or we have a accounts payable product that we use through DocuBiz that we work, through the Karmak. So what I love about what I'm seeing from Karmak in the last couple of years is these additional either partnerships or, sometimes proprietary software, but really servicing some of the areas that my team has been asking about for a long time. And of course, in our business, we have quite a bit of mobile work that goes on, mobile service, and we're looking to increase that pretty substantially over the next 3 to 5 years. So those sorts of investments in your business are definitely going to help the Wiers team, work in a much more efficient manner, less manpower necessary as we grow. So that's fantastic. That really adds value to our business.
Good. And one of the things that we've created the last couple of years is our Unity tool. It's an API layer that allows these third parties to integrate with it, because we want you to be able to do everything in that system that you can. And that's been an investment, but it's really paying off, to your point. And all these different services that you use, why not have them integrate with your management system?
Yeah, it really does start to feel a little bit like your iPhone, where there's more and more choices, and apps, and tools to use, and you're the connectivity for that. So that's wonderful. Yeah, good stuff.
Absolutely. And so you guys are growing.
Well, we're trying,
I've been watching, Tom.
After 32 years, maybe we're finally figuring some things out. But our business, we have the dealerships. Obviously, we've been around, we're celebrating 60 years in the international dealership. So we're now becoming one of the older international dealerships in the country. And of course, there's a lot of consolidation going on. So we're hanging in there and plan to. And then our fleet service business that we started in 2013 is really growing, and a lot of that's through acquisitions, as you know. And it's wonderful, the relationship that we have with Karmak, being our ERP system, our business system. We're going in on day one and taking, oftentimes the companies that we're purchasing have very little, in terms of invoicing and productivity tracking and inventory tracking, and it's generally not integrated. It's a QuickBooks plus something, maybe written. And day one, we throw the Karmak ERP. It's live, 8 o'clock on a Monday morning when we close on the business. And in fact, in this most recent acquisition last week, we had visibility of productivity and revenue on the same day that we closed, which was the first time we've had that level of execution. So Karmak has been great for us because, again, even though it's primarily known, as a dealer, you think of it as a dealer system, but there are a lot of aftermarket companies that use your software, and it's certainly working really well for our fleet service business.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up, because oftentimes that's why I don't use the term DMS, or dealer management, because we have warehouse distributors, trailer dealer, truck dealers, service shops. We have all kind of different type of customers using that system. So, I've had people from different market segments go, don't be favoring the dealers kind of thing. And it's like, hey, we create the system for the heavy duty market, and you can utilize it in any way, and you can use pieces of it. You don't have to pay for all of it. And so, congratulations on your success, number one, first and foremost. I've been watching you. I've been watching your team and what you're doing, and watching you grow. And what I love, my favorite part, is that we grow along with you. Yeah. And that's partnership. And man, I love that. Every time I see you guys adding something, I'm like, that's my guys. I love that so much. And I had, some good friends in the industry, and this is where it comes to me, where it's so important that I get these friendships, like Drew Heddick, and getting to know you better, and some of the other folks that, are partners with us. is it creates a completely different synergy. And I don't want to be looked at as a commodity. I want to be looked at a true partner offering solutions, and we grow together and we work together really well. So the better I know you, the better the business, that kind of thing. And so we're excited. The company gets excited. And I'm telling you right now, we got people at Karmak that follow the Trucks Roll podcast. They love it, and it is good. And so when you do these kind of things, whether it's a podcast or you're putting stuff out on LinkedIn, you never really get to know who's really seeing it unless they click like. And sometimes you'll be all like, oh, geez, I only got 10 likes. I'm all crestfallen, you know.
Nobody likes me.
But meanwhile, people are looking at it. And I can tell you, the Trucks Roll thing's big there, but people do follow that. And I love that. And again, I have a lot of friends in the industry that I feel the same way about, and I'm always excited when they grow, and I'm going to grow right along with them. But the more they grow, the closer we are, the more influence we have. That's why we listen way better than we have in the past at Karmak. We have advisory councils that members from the industry participate in. So if you joined one, you can say, well, I like that idea, but this is how the industry actually does it. And we know that you know that more than we do. So that really has been outstanding. If you're feeling anything from us, you're feeling that.
So since you have so many relationships, both OEM and aftermarket and such, and you know we're growing primarily through acquisitions. What do you see? What are you seeing in the marketplace in terms of consolidation, both on the OEM side and aftermarket? Like, are you expecting this to continue? And then, is it impacting your business positively, or is it impacting your business negatively?
Great question. You know, I made a joke that the end game is one giant behemoth dealer group, heavy duty industry ran by an evil empire, right? Because it feels like the market is shrinking. The more consolidation, the market shrinks. So it's difficult to get conquest sales for us because of that. We've done more M&A work and acquisition work over the last couple of years. It's been insane, but the good news is we got really good at it, so we can pop those bad boys right on for you without missing a beat. And I will tell you, largely we're at the good end of that, of getting that new business. So if you buy a 2 or 3 location or a 1 and you bring it on, then that brings it on to us. We do every once in a while, unfortunately, have people that have to break up. And I can tell you, I meet these folks and they're like, man, I get emails from them saying, the whole company's mad that we can't stay with Karmak, you know, that kind of thing. But, you know, business leaders have to make the decision to do what they have to do. We don't ever want to see anybody leave because we believe genuinely we have the better system because of how deep and wide it truly is, and you can form it to your business. It's not, you know, it's flexible for that kind of thing. And you know, our claim to fame was really the beginning as parts inventory and the margins. We manage it differently, and you know, it's not just going, well, I can get any system and they're all going to be fine. There are differences, and I've never talked down on the competitor, but we really believe in what we have, and that's genuine. That's not a sales pitch.
That's right. So do you see the trend in OEM consolidation and aftermarket continuing? Is there any reason to think that that's going to slow down or stop?
No, you know, it's such a funny thing because if you look at the cycle of things, you know, will there be a point where people will start selling that off? I don't know. I have not seen much of a slowdown. And, you know, the economy plays a role into that, right, in your service. So when your shops or when your business is really clicking and you're squeezing as much efficiency out, you're getting successful, you're financially, you're building something good so you can be in a position to do those things. And I don't see an end to it anytime soon. For us, it's interesting because I believe in the heavy duty market that there's all kind of opportunity. I don't want to leave this market. We don't want to branch out to other things because the more efficiencies we find for you, the more valuable we are. So we can charge for those services, and it's a good business plan. So there's things we haven't even launched yet that you don't know about that we're going to love to take your money for, like the Mobile Service Act.
I know. I was like, how much are we going to spend on that? Like,
but it's what is the value and the efficiency you get out of it?
You know,
it's nothing compared to what and it's hard to wrap your head around that. But if you start using it at one location and you see, you know, you control that. It's not a ton or none. One guy can go out and do a service call and use it, and you're like, Was that worth it?
Well, I already know that I think everybody's going to want it, and it's going to.
I saw the faces in there when we launched it on them, and
I
you
asked him
know,
too. I said, "How many service invoices do we do a year?" And he did. I did the math. I'm like, "Oh, okay," but it's going to add value. So
that's right.
that's right.
That's
I'll be happy
having
to
the
write the check, is
strategic
what you're saying.
brain. Yes.
I'm going to be happy to write that check.
I'll be happy to cash it. But the truth of it is,
it's a great partnership, isn't it?
I love it.
I write the checks, you cash them, I get value. It's wonderful.
And then we reinvest that money.
Yeah, of
It
course,
self-funds,
absolutely.
basically.
Yeah, it's
so
right,
we'll just
100%.
keep adding the good stuff.
Totally, I understand. I mean, there's a lot of upfront costs in what you folks do. I mean, there's you've got to write all the code and do all this, and then wait for the revenue to come in. So,
Yeah, and there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of people, our team, but then also it was influenced by other groups.
Sure.
Our client base, we said we need a panel of people to help guide this,
Yeah.
because we know a lot about service, but I don't know as much as you do.
Right.
So we really utilize that brain trust
Yeah.
and trusted partnerships in our client base to come in and say, what do you think of this?
Right.
Cut it up, beat it up, we're going to change, now what do you think of it? So that process has taken a long time.
Yeah.
We wanted to have it done immediately, but I can promise you nothing moves quickly in software. It's a heavy lift.
Well, as I started off, we've had a long-term relationship with Karmak, always been very pleased, always been a loyal customer. And since your tenure as CEO over the last 2.5 years, definitely seeing Karmak moving in a more, seemingly a faster, more aggressive path. And that really excites us since we're your partner. That means we can do more things that we weren't able to do, like the mobile service app and some of those other things. So that's great. And, I appreciate, again, you coming to Carmel, Indiana, Indianapolis, and spending time with my team. I know they greatly appreciated, your discussion on cyber security, cyber attacks, and that, as well as the update on the Karmak and getting to know our team. So thank you very much. And we'll have to stay in touch and drink some bourbon together.
Now we're talking. I'm looking around. Where's the cabinet, Tom?
In this room, there should be bourbon. There should be bourbon sitting right here. I don't know why we didn't do
the
that.
perfect table for it.
But I guess we can wrap it up and go have one as well. So.
There you go. But yeah, hey, I'm always flattered when people invite me out. I can't say no.
Yeah.
I truly do enjoy coming out and meeting people and seeing what you have going on. It's awesome.
Hanging out in the Wiers studio.
Man, this place is legit, I have to say. What an incredible spot. And
First, we got to do it right. If we're gonna Wiers, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right.
I love that.
No
man.
shortcuts.
Cheers to that, brother.
Cheers.
We share the same.
So, all right. Well, I appreciate Jim again and building the relationship and continuing our relationship with Karmak. So I hope you've enjoyed this discussion we've had as much as we have. And if you're a Wiers customer and watching this, we want to say thank you very much for your business and long-term loyalty. And we want to make sure your trucks roll. And if you're a Karmak customer, what, Jim, anything to say if you're watching this, or maybe a potential Karmak customer?
I'm coming for you next, first of all. But if we can rewind the tape for quick seconds, I really need to say trucks roll for my crew back to office. So let's cheers. Trucks roll, baby.
We have the finger guns. So let's do that.
Oh, okay.
On 3, 1, 2, 3.
Trucks roll. Boom.
That's awesome.